not by giving away the store, but by providing companies with a healthy, well-educated, productive workforce and an infrastructure that provides affordable energy and efficient public transit. Again, I'm only just going to briefly skim over a few points on the rest of my economic program, but the point I want to emphasize, it has to start with fixing the budget. To me, the key to having a healthy private sector starts with having a healthy public sector, not by starving it, not by having a hollowed out public sector that can't even provide the most basic services. Once we have that and get the kind of revenue stream we need, we can do things like modernize our energy infrastructure with a green jobs bill, create alternatives to the profiteering utilities, improve energy efficiency of homes and buildings, promote solar and wind power generation with production based in Illinois, and develop other creative means of generating energy that do not emit greenhouse gases. One of the things we're looking at, there's an organization, a nonprofit called Equitech, which is building a demonstration project in East St. Louis where they take waste and actually take the waste to both generate energy and produce products, and it's all closed loop so that there's no generation of greenhouse gases in the process. As a matter of fact, they are creating carbon sinks through the operation, and what's beautiful about the whole thing is that they designed it so that it would be owned by the community. So in the impoverished area of East St. Louis, Illinois, they're going to be building this demonstration plant that will be producing power for the people, producing dividends going back to the community owners through a community-based land trust, and also creating jobs with the products that they're actually creating through this process. We also need to modernize our transportation infrastructure. I do agree with Pat Quinn on one thing: we need high-speed rail. We need more efficient public transit. We need to stop our over-reliance on the petroleum-fueled automobile as our main way of getting from place to place. We need to stop urban sprawl, maybe something that needs to be heard in this community. There's a lot of things that we need to be doing, and these can also be sources of good jobs. Every $1 billion spent on rail creates 9,000 more jobs than the same $1 billion spent on road construction. Yet some people seem to think Capitol Bill is a synonym for road construction. No, we need to get away from that. We need to shift our resources toward the clean energy future that we need to see. Free higher education is a part of our economic recovery plan. It's huge for several reasons. You're not only employing more people directly, you're also reducing the supply of the labor force directly, but in creating a more productive labor force, you create a more productive economy. And this is a lesson we've learned from our history. The experience of the GI Bill, the original GI Bill after World War II, where returning GIs were given a free college education, is that for every dollar the federal government spent, they made back in the long term about $7. So to starve higher education is absolutely foolish. We have to be, if we recreate that experience and improve higher education, you have more productive workers, you're generating new creative businesses, you have a healthier economy, and we can move toward the goal of full employment economy. Another thing we need to do, single payer health care, right? The recent federal reform, I'm sorry, some people think it's a step forward, some think it's, socialized medicine. The truth is it's neither. What that bill basically did is that it entrenched the power of the private insurance companies that are themselves the main source of the problem that's driving up healthcare costs. I can't think of any historical precedent for having a bill that is now going to punish you for not buying a private for-profit product, and in this case a defective product known as health insurance. It is absolutely absurd. If I'm elected governor, as with all of my Green colleagues, we're going to be fighting an uncompromising battle for a Medicare for all private health insurance system. We also need other public works. We need to have a green civilian conservation corps. We need better paying social service jobs. We need to be raising the minimum wage until it is a living wage, which some people say that, oh no, you're gonna drive businesses out. No, the experience shows of living wage laws shows that even though there's an immediate impact in small business, in the long run, by improving the purchasing power of working people, you end up with a healthier economy and net gains in employment. And finally, one other thing in my economic recovery program is that we need to talk about making corporations more accountable to the people and encourage other forms of business ownership, such as workers' cooperatives and worker-owned enterprises. And one of the things that we can use to do that, and also at the same time help revive our economy, is use the power of eminent domain to reclaim and retool abandoned facilities under community or worker ownership. In the last year alone, there were over 700 manufacturing facilities in the state of Illinois that closed down. Over 50,000 jobs lost from those facilities. Frankly, the most surprising thing to me was that we still had that many manufacturing jobs to lose. But we did. We did lose that many. That's 700 recently closed facilities. Now, you hear a lot about runaway shops, you know. They get some tax breaks, they get some subsidies, they come into town, they set up shop for a few years, then, oh, we could get cheaper wages in Mexico. Oh, China's given us a better deal. Oh, you know, Indiana's given us a better deal. Whatever it is, they have no loyalty to communities, they close up shop, and they go somewhere else where they think they can get a better deal. I'm saying that if we can use the power of eminent domain to condemn people's homes, to put in a Piatone airport, or to put in a Walmart, or to put in, you know, an industrial park, or whatever, then we can also use the power of eminent domain, we the people, to reclaim abandoned industrial facilities and turn them over to newly formed workers' cooperatives or community land trusts that can then reopen these facilities, retool them with state assistance coming from our state bank, and get them up and running again to provide good industrial jobs to the people of the state of Illinois. And this is one of the other things that I'm going to be fighting for. So I realize I've talked a long time. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Let me just sum up by saying that in 2010, let's stop the insanity in Springfield and let's start reclaim government of, by, and for the people. Now, for those of you who may think, well, I like what the Green Party has to say, but I'm afraid that if I vote Green, the worst Republican might win, or in some cases, maybe the worst Democrat might win. And my answer to that is no. We're past that now in Illinois in 2010. In 2008, some of our candidates for state office got into the 20 percentile and even above 30% of the vote. Voter dissatisfaction with both the Democratic and Republican parties is at an all-time high, and justifiably so. It is clearer than ever that neither the Republicans nor the Democrats in Springfield are going to do anything to stop this ship from sinking. We are now running some outstanding campaigns in Cook County and around the state at all levels of government. In sum, in 2010, you can vote for the Green Party candidate, vote for who you want, vote for who is standing up for you, knowing that they can win. This is our year. There are more of us than we know. Even 4 years ago, polls were showing majority support for a tax reform like Senate Bill 750. Today, we are seeing growing protests over budget cuts, tuition hikes, and vocal support for income tax reform. Broad-based groups like the Responsible Budget Coalition make it clear we are the majority. We just need to start acting like it and start electing our own people. In 2010, vote your convictions. Vote for the best candidate, and I look forward to serving you as your next governor. Thank you. Okay, I do tend to get long-winded, but I thank you for bearing with me, and I'll be happy to take some questions. Yes, sir.
So, suppose a Green Party candidate is elected to any office. How should that candidate go about interacting with other legislators who have very different viewpoints?
Well, that's a good question, and I have been getting that a lot lately. You know, the what-if scenario. What if you're the Green Party governor and you're alone, and how are you going to deal with Mike Madigan and that sort of thing? And there's a several-fold answer to that question. First of all, hopefully I won't be alone. We are running a number of other